Early Britain, the Anglo-Saxons. Highlight. The Roman army left Britain in AD 410. Britain was invaded by tribes from northern Europe. The Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons. Anglo-Saxon kingdoms were established about AD 600. The Roman army left Britain in AD 410 to defend other parts of the Roman Empire and never returned. Britain was again invaded by tribes from northern Europe, the Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons. The languages they spoke are the basis of modern-day English. Battles were fought against these invaders, but, by about AD 600, Anglo-Saxon kingdoms were established in Britain. These kingdoms were mainly in what is now England. This picture illustrates the origins of the Jutes, Angles, and Saxons, who arrived and established their dominance in Britain. The burial place of one of the kings was at Sutton Hoo in modern Suffolk. This king was buried with treasure and armor, all placed in a ship which was then covered by a mound of earth. Parts of the west of Britain, including much of what is now Wales, and Scotland, remained free of Anglo-Saxon rule. The Anglo-Saxons were not Christians when they first came to Britain, but, during this period, missionaries came to Britain to preach about Christianity. Missionaries from Ireland spread the religion in the north. The most famous of these was Saint Patrick, who would become the patron saint of Ireland, and Saint Columba, who founded a monastery on the island of Iona, off the coast of what is now Scotland. Saint Augustine led missionaries from Rome, who spread Christianity in the south. Saint Augustine became the first Archbishop of Canterbury. Highlight. The Vikings came from Denmark and Norway. The Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England united under King Alfred the Great, who defeated the Vikings. The Vikings came from Denmark and Norway. They first visited Britain in AD 789 to raid coastal towns and take away goods and slaves. Then, they began to stay and form their own communities in the east of England and Scotland. The Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England united under King Alfred the Great, who defeated the Vikings. Many of the Viking invaders stayed in Britain, especially in the east and north of England, in an area known as the Danelaw. Anglo-Saxon kings continued to rule what is now England, except for a short period when there were Danish kings. The first of these was Knut, also called Canute. In the north, the threat of attack by Vikings had encouraged the people to unite under one king, Kenneth MacAlpin. The term Scotland began to be used to describe that country.